Do you make paracord bracelets? Do you have a jig that helps make paracord bracelets? Well, today I'm going to show you how. So today I'm going to make a jig for a buddy of mine. He makes these survival paracord bracelets, and he does it all by hand, holding it out, and I thought a jig might help him out. And we worked out a little trade for some zipper pulls. So let's see how this goes together. So the first thing I'm going to do is find my center on this piece of MDF here. This thing is exactly 5 inches. So I'm just going to draw a line down the center here of this this board. And this will give me my center cut line. Now, I want to cut this the thickness of this bolt so that it can actually slide up and down, mostly at one end. It doesn't need to slide all the way down because he's never going to make anything that short. But I want to make it go almost all the way to the end here. So what I'm going to do is cut this most of the way, probably a good 3/4 of the length of the board, and then cut it on one side and then flip it and cut it on the other side to get my bolt cut out here. So what you can see I've got now is this perfect slot in here. I'm going to test my bolt. It's a little too small, so I'm just going to make a couple of very small hairline cuts just to adjust for that difference. And now we've got the perfect fit. You can see there's barely any wobble there. So I want to have the slot have this bolt countersunk in here, so I just need to take off a little bit of material off each corner on the bottom. And I think I'm going to go ahead and do this by hand. This stuff cuts pretty easy, and I can just kind of feel my way through it and then make adjustments if necessary. And for the sake of the camera, I am doing all this on the table saw, so I don't have any good way to hold this at the moment other than just my hand. And that fits pretty nicely in there. So now I've got a slot that this bolt will slide in, and we can flip it over and proceed from here. Okay, so what I did is I actually switched to a different piece of wood for the end. The MDF just didn't seem like it would hold the screw well, and I don't want this to come apart later. So I went ahead and cut this. It's a hardwood, 2 inch by 5 inch. It's going to attach right to the end here. The screw holes went in easily. It's holding really stout. So now I can begin to work on this other end. And I'm going to wait to put this on until I figure out what I got going on here. Okay, so we're looking pretty good here. As you can see, the end cap will go on here with the fixed buckles. The slide with the wing nut with the other end of the buckles will be here, and that'll slide and tighten with the wing nut. Now, one thing I did that I didn't really think about at the beginning, and I just went ahead and cut it, is I just cut this groove the length of the board. Probably, I don't know, 3/16 deep. And what I'm going to do is lay out a measure tape from the end going this way. And that'll tell him the distance from the end buckle to the block here. This board will allow for up to 12 inches, which I think he said he's never done anything that big, so this should be fine. But I'm going to get a fine tip Sharpie, which I don't have in the shop, so I won't be doing that now, but I'm going to go ahead and just lay that out with a ruler once I get a Sharpie. But I'm going to go ahead and do this final assembly, and I think this thing will be done. So there it is. Pretty simple jig, just the sliding center here. Simply lock it up with the wing nut and then it's fixed. And one thing I think that he might really like that I added in is this slot for the measuring, which I will do at a later time. So here's the final jig minus the scale that I still need to put in. I went ahead and put this one. This is a bracelet that my buddy gave my wife, and you can see how this will work. Essentially, you would have these buckles without the paracord, and then that gives you, free hands to weave through it. Again, I don't do it, so I don't know how the weaving works or any of that, but that's the gist of the project.